So I got to meet today with the Small Business Administration advisor, and it was pretty awesome. So we covered some growth opportunities, different ways to fund the growth of Harkins equipment here. So some things he told me that were really helpful was to go to our state websites and municipality websites, townships, whatever, in this area and register as a vendor. So they'll put out bids for different repairs or even sales of things. So I'll just put in my information and I'm going to register as a vendor. So I'll register for that, and then they'll reach out to me if I'm awarded anything that I bid on. So that part's cool. He talked to me about checking with other places as well, like your metro parks, Hamilton Parks, Miami University, things like that, to look into being a vendor for those folks as well. Networking opportunities with the BNT networking, and then the Chamber of Commerce has luncheons. So I'm going to check into those things and register for some of those meet and greets. So ideally, the biggest thing here is advertising. I'm really going to be putting myself out there to these different areas. So that's how it went. The guy said that I'm in an awesome field. So he said I'm a dying breed, equipment repair or mechanics in general. I mean, this is a high need market. What I'm doing is a very strong avenue of work. So he put me in contact with some better funding opportunities. He said First Financial Bank actually loves small businesses. He said they're really big on your mom and pop shops funding, and they've got some funding opportunities and growth opportunities for there. I told him the goal is to eventually own a building and sell equipment like a dealership, kind of like Clyde used to do on Coleraine, and if anybody remembers Mr. Skid's shop in Ross selling power sports stuff. So that's kind of what I want to do, and that's where I want to get to. So he's like, there's a couple different ways. Easiest role to step into would be if I bought a location of somebody that was selling, or they had a business, something where you could buy into the assets. And he said what's cool is usually as the owner investment to a business, he said you'd put 10% down. He goes, that could be cash, or you could loan that 10%. That's fine separately. But the small business, the SBA, would carry the 50% of the other half of the loan, and the banks carry the 40%. So the bank has the lowest risk, they carry 40, the SBA carries 50, and then I carry the 10. So that covers the whole thing. So he said that's options. Now he didn't say anything about new building or new dealership program, none of those things, but he said that's the easiest one to step into. Of course, I have to talk with the financial managers to get everything else figured out. He said it could still continue to be an LLC. I asked that if this was going to have to change. He said ultimately what's going to happen, he goes, it may remain the same as an LLC, but my tax person or accountant, whoever I end up getting, will probably file it under an S Corp. So it'll be a separate tax return, but it's still an LLC, single owner. So that's what I got out today. And so we talked about, it's hard to compete with Amazon. So if I had online store sales, I'd have to make it worth their while. So I would like to have some sort of physical store, but we'll get there. So today was research, and I talked about how I'm propane certified. He even said that if that's something I could even do is recertify others. I said I don't know how that level of it would come down to, because I don't know if there's propane police out there. So he's got a point, but either way, so networking and registering as a vendor and speaking to the guy at First Financial seems to be my next course of action. So stay tuned for the growth of Harkins equipment. So that's where we're at. Thanks. Guys, have a great day. God bless.